Underrated rappers, underrated MCs. When you call somebody underrated or overrated, you're not actually talking about that person. Calling someone overrated or underrated, you're talking about everything around them, meaning fan opinion, media hype. You could say that Eminem is overrated. You could say Jay-Z is overrated. You could say MC Hammer is overrated. And what that would mean is they're hyped into nauseum by their record label, by publications, through payola. That's what saying someone overrated really means. Same thing with underrated. Not enough fans have experienced this person's work. This person is not written about enough. This person was not properly promoted. So if underrated, you could say a lot of people. You could say Big L's underrated. You could say Pharoah Monch is underrated. Black Thought. And obviously, someone who is more local, who might not have made it past their region, will fit into that. But when you think of underrated rappers, underrated MCs, hit the like button of all time. Number one most underrated might be Mos Def. And not just musically, but when you look at Mos Def was an artist, but he also was a good actor. He also was a trendsetter. He was also a unique individual. He was not a corporate sellout. He made and still makes conscious music. But he could still make a club song, a party song. He could still make music that would get him booked for one of these big festivals. So he was an all-around talent. But he wasn't on Interscope. He wasn't on, I don't believe he was on Atlantic. He wasn't on a major label, and if he was, they didn't push him like that. You know, Mos Def, he comes around in the late 90s. This is when like Loud Records is big, Raucous Records. This is when you have like the Sound Bombing compilations. This is when you had Lyricist Lounge. This is when like underground rap was like really, really, really big. So he's in that era, and of course, at that same time, like I mentioned, you have the Roots, you know, Black Thought, things like that. That late 90s, when you started having more conscious rappers kind of come back more, because there was a period in the 90s of Hammer and Vanilla Ice, and then, you know, gangster rap. But when you get to like 97, 98, 99, there is kind of a new push of like soul music. Some of that was also neo soul, you know, late 90s. This is when you have Erykah Badu gets big, and D'Angelo and Maxwell, and Jill Scott is on the way, and Angie Stone. So Talib Kweli and Mos Def, they kind of fit in. There's like a kind of like a black soulful movement in music, not just rap, but in music. This is also a time when you have like Common. You know, one of the best songs at this time for a few of the people I just mentioned is when Sadat X does 1999 with Common and Talib Kweli. One of the best videos, best songs. But then Mos Def, my introduction to Mos Def was probably, it had to be that song, I think it was called B-Boy Document 99. Something B-Boy Document, something. I think it was him and Mad Skills. And obviously Mos Def, he, if you know his history, he started out in a group, and then he broke off, and then he started building and making his name. And obviously Black on Both Sides, classic album. I got to review that album on this channel. He teams up with Mos Def, Respiration, just fire album. And then into the 2000s, he's more solo. He's on the Get By remix, which to me is the greatest remix in rap history. The Get By remix that had Mos Def, Talib, Kanye, Jay-Z, and I think Busta Rhymes was on that one. There was like two remixes for Get By. One of them was like a terrible remix, but then the one with Jay-Z and Kanye West, that was great. That might have been Kanye West's greatest verse, the Get By remix. If music gets you choked up, this is the tree and the rope. Oh my God. That's one of the greatest lines ever. That's the greatest Kanye line ever. Umi says, I'm leaving, or Traveling Man, whichever one you know it as. Definition, just like countless records, just classic, man. Mos Def was great because he led with substance and soul, something that's missing today. You have to really, really look for that anywhere in music or this world in general. And then, Mos Def, he took advantage of the time because this was still the time when rappers could get into major motion pictures. So I believe he got into the Italian Job. I think that might have been like maybe '06. I think. I believe Mos Def, he did Brown Sugar. Great film. Oh, Brown Sugar is one of the best black films in the last 25, 30 years, whatever. Great film. That cast was great. I believe Tay Diggs was in there, Queen Latifah. So he took advantage of not just music and not just the underground scene, but also acting. And Mos Def was a good actor. Obviously, he went on to do many films, many roles. I remember as a kid when, and this was kind of weird to me. To me, it was like an odd use of Mos Def, but whatever. Someone had to play the role. I remember as a kid when Damon Wayans and Tisha Campbell had My Wife and Kids on ABC. Hit the like button, damn it. Did you hit the like button? Share this video, subscribe to the channel, donate to the Cash App, support the channel. But I remember in the early 2000s, it might have been like '03, '04, when Mos Def appeared on My Wife and Kids. And his role was, he was, Damon Wayans' character, Michael. He was like an old friend who's now in a wheelchair. It's kind of like an odd use of Mos Def, but whatever. He was fine in the role. And then, fast forward, he had the New Danger. Just so underrated, He had he took the Takeover beat and he remixed it. I'm not gonna say the title because these small hats, they want to demonetize every little thing. But how did he get that beat? How was he able to use the Jay-Z Takeover beat? Jay-Z Jay-Z and them people love like not clearing samples. Like Jay-Z would not clear things for certain artists on Rockefeller, but he let Mos Def use the Takeover beat. I wonder how that happened. But he was going at these vultures like Liar Cohen and so on and so forth. And then you fast forward and he does the whole what is it, Yasin Bey? I never really understood that, the Yasin Bey thing, whatever. And then he got like detained in another country and I don't know. And then fast forward now, I assume he's still touring and doing what he does. I remember, I think it was it 2022 or 23? He had the guest verse. Him and Talib Kweli, they got together on the guest verse for Westside Gun. I think it was called Peppers. I thought that song was kind of overrated. It was to me it was like an all right song, but it's good to see and hear Mos Def at any time. There was a time when he was my favorite rapper. Around that, probably like '03 to '06. Around that period, like Joe Budden, 50 Cent, Mos Def was like my three favorites at that time. So, and the thing about Mos Def is, when it came to being mainstream in that late '90s, early 2000s, he could have been, and he could have done it. Still making but see, back then being mainstream wasn't this sellout that it is now. Now to be a mainstream rapper, you have to be a rainbow person. You got to wear dresses. You got to be a filthy gangbanger. You have to be a stripper. Being mainstream in '99, 2002, you didn't have to sell out like that. So he could have been mainstream with Brown Sugar as a song and Mathematics type songs. Mathematics. Oh my God. That was Mathematics, man. You know what? I think I messed it up. I think I said Talib Kweli Mos Def was Black on Both Sides. That was Mos Def's album. Their album was it was Black Star. Yeah, I think I messed that up earlier. Forgive me. Don't give a damn if you do. Hit the like button. But yeah, that Mathematics. I believe that song was on Madden. Wasn't that like the title song on like Madden 2000? Or Madden? No, I think it was Madden '01. One of those classic Maddens. I think it was '01 with Eddie George. But yeah, Black on Both Sides and the Black Star album, fire. But even as far as the whole mainstream thing, he was always recognized by like Kanye West as being great and Common, and he was on Chappelle's show. Dave Chappelle, he loved like real rap music. He loved Mos Def and Talib Kweli and Common and these type artists. So I think he's underrated if you look at a popular sense or a mainstream sense, or if you ask people make a best rappers list, they're probably not going to put him on it because they don't know the history, which disqualifies them automatically. But Mos Def is if you made a top 50 rappers list, he has to be in the top 50. He has to. Definitely top 100. That's not even a question. He's definitely in my personal favorite rappers list. He'd be in the top 25. But that's my thoughts on Mos Def. Catch up with the past uploads. Catch up. Check out my Suge Knight video where he's confirming that Diddy parties rumor. That's a hilarious video. And check out my sports channel in the description. I have a great Jordan LeBron rant that needs to be heard. Check out my gaming channel. Check out my music songs channel. Mos Def, definitely an influence on the music I record and post. I'm about to get more on that channel. This has been a beautiful year, a fruitful year. Can't wait for the next year. Can't wait to make these man worshippers even more angry in 2024 and thereon and then on and then on. And I'm up out of here. That is it.